Hey good looking, I'm Vixen, and welcome back, or welcome for the first time. In the last episode, this happened. Must touch weird portal. Let the epic story continue. It's friggin' dark, I'll tell you that. Guess there's a door. Oh, that's the door I just came through. Wonderful. Okay, climbing all the stairs.
The mankind has changed and is still changing with every second.
You don't have to sound so evil.
Human are changing as well, whether you're with them or alone. I was ready for a strike, but it was difficult to expect such a thing from you. This sense of betrayal is akin to losing a best friend. It is familiar to you, human. Only I did not ask to silence me, but asked to be left in rest. Curiosity does not lead to anything good, as well as the search for truth.
Yeah, I don't have answers for you, I'm sorry. I didn't want to kill you. That was Philip's plan entirely. Oh my god, this is a long staircase! How did my father come up here? He's an old man! Oh my. Oh my! There's frick loads of stairs. Oh my goodness. I don't want to run because I feel like I'll fall off. Can't see the bottom. I kind of want to jump off. This is so many friggin' stairs! Are we at the top? Nowhere even near close. Do I just keep walking? Oh god! I guess that answered that question. More stairs. Father? Father, it is I. Howard! I mean, Philip!
But this does not prevent you from taking risky actions. I gave people knowledge, but the answer was nothing but hatred. Each of you think they are clever, but even when you're together, you are strong but foolish. You are led by something you know nothing about, and you, human, were being led by someone you knew.
Father?
You thought you knew, but it is not true. I can see your mind, human, but I can't find a goal that motivates you. And with that, my pain is multiplied 1,000 times. I am neither a killer nor a judge. Our worlds should not intersect. We speak different languages and will never understand each other. Everyone chooses what they hold there for themselves.
So this is the choice then. Can I save first? Father! So I can follow him, or I can go into the eye of the storm. Right, so I can go there or follow my father. Did it just save? Right, I'm gonna follow my father first. And then I'll take that one. God, I hope it saved itself. Father? But this is death. Wow! Alley-oop! I hope the save makes it easy to go back to that choice. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. I don't know. I can't run. Father? Oh. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at how cubic it is. Oh dear. I can't. Can I jump? Yes. Not really sure what I'm doing, but it's happening. It is happening. Ah! A familiar sound. Is that a ship? I'm here! It's me, Philip! So following your father is kind of salvation? Go, Philip, go! Look at that running! My God, man, you are magnificent! Right, well, that's Penumbra Necrologue. I'm gonna hold off talking about it until I see the other ending, and then I'll give you my review. So skip the credits, I guess. I might skip the credits if there are credits after the second ending, in which case you won't see this. If there aren't, then enjoy the credits. I'll see you in the next ending. Right guys, we're back. This time we're going to go with this rather colourful ring of fire. Father, no! What happened? Oh God. I can't go back. Oh dear. Everything is crumbling and dying around me. I'm going as fast as I can, Philip. As fast as you can, anyway. Escape! Short of jumping out a window, this is the fastest I can go. Oh God. Oh God, that was close. We nearly died, Philip. Not that you'd care. Oh God. Oh God, what's happening? What is happening? Why is the tower crumbling apart? Oh God! It makes no sense. Why would they destroy themselves just because you've rejected them? I assume that's what this is. I assume if you go with his father. Oh god, you're accepting them. And if you choose the Ring of Fire, whatever that's supposed to be, it's like rejecting them. Ah, okay, good. Whew, we're good. We're done. Hello? I hear rain? Typing? I can't see. Oh, and only you decide what to do with this story. To consider it ravings of a madman or a horrible fate of a friend. Fate that you wouldn't wish on your enemy. Full stop. Oh, he's back at home. It's reading and typing. My ears are never wrong. Oh, it's just a book. Or it wasn't. Father? Oh. I'm entirely sure I understood that second one. But between the two, I definitely preferred the first one I went with going with the father. It's like a nice happy ending despite the fact that the father is still dead. I think the second one, it was supposed to be like it was a book or something, and it was all inspired by things. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to make of the endings. I think they can probably be pretty ambiguous, really. But yeah, as a whole, Penumbra Necrologue, I actually really liked it. I think they got back into the spirit of not only the original like Penumbra, but also of Amnesia, because I think Penumbra was meant to be like kind of a tester for how the games would play before Amnesia actually came along. And I think this game did well to combine both elements of that, where it had still got its true like Penumbra qualities to it. It's not just wearing its skin, it's actually got its Penumbra feel to it. But you've also got the tenseness and the atmosphere and just that general fear of Amnesia. My eye is itchy. The thing, the frogman thing, that was freaking terrifying. Don't know what that came from. I think it must have been some kind of Penumbra, or well, it's got to be some kind of frictional thing, doesn't it? If this mod was made using Penumbra and Amnesia, the design has got to belong to one of those. It looked kind of like the monster that lives in the sewer in Amnesia. Just the face, anyway. But as a whole, I really liked it. I liked the story. I'm not entirely sure why Red and Clarence, etc. were in it, or why they had to be in it. I don't really think it would have lessened the story in any way if they weren't in it. I think it could have worked fine without them, but then maybe they were just all in his head. Maybe the whole point is that it's just all in Philip's head. Oh god, I only got 1 out of 10 artifacts. Oh well. And none of it is actually real. The end. well, none of it is real beyond the point where it was real, if you understand if you get my drift. So Red died, Clarence was killed, and then I guess Philip went a little bit crazy. It would explain why he like sent off that email at the end of Black Plague. And I liked the idea, since they were a mod, obviously they had to still be banned within restrictions of what they could use and what was already there. And I liked the idea of having to go back and retrace your steps, like go right back to the very beginning of the very first Penumbra game, and just that despair and hopelessness. I mean, I kind of feel like if you'd played all of the Penumbra games in a row, that's how Philip would feel by the time you got to that point. And I really liked that. I really liked that concept. It felt really hopeless, and my god, was this a trek of a game! It was so much longer than I thought it was going to be. I think my game, but then I got lost and confused a lot of times, was like 19-20 hours or something. I mean, the first Penumbra is 9 hours. I think the second one is like 6 hours, and then Requiem was like 4. So what was that? 9 plus 6 plus 4. All of the previous Penumbra games combined together are still not as long as this. And that tells you quite a lot about it, doesn't it? I mean, not to say that necessarily something being long is good, but I think to be able to carry a game that far and still make it interesting requires a lot of skill to it. And for the most part, I think that was achieved here. I think there were some parts that could have been done better. There were some enemies that were just far too OP, especially since you can't fight back. And when they're so much faster than you, it's just frustrating to have to die over and over again, especially since there are no hints given for any of the puzzles. So you could die over and over again doing the same thing and then not realize that you didn't have to do that at all. And it's really easy to miss the tiniest things because, one, you are given very little light source. The batteries run out like that, and the flares, you don't really get that many. They're few and far between, and you can't use the glow stick, and there's no other sources of light. So basically you're screwed. And trying to find a very specific thing is very, very difficult. So like trying to find that trapdoor beneath the trapdoor in the shafts, trying to get to the auxiliary shaft, and then the confusing, like, I don't know why with the blue artifact they had the ability for it to not be used, because even if you know where the key is and you got the key, why would you not still want to watch the flashback? I would still like to watch the flashback. I think it would still be interesting to watch even if you have the key. Also, if you have I guess you'd pick up the magnet and the artifact together. But isn't it just a bit too obvious that it's right next to the key? I don't know. Either way, that's nitpicking. That's very small things. I may be rambling a bit as well because I'm very tired. I played pretty much the entirety of that all in one go, save for a 4-hour sleep in the middle / also breakfast. And it is now about 4 AM. I started playing this today, at, I think it was 10 a.m. And then I played some before the 4 hours that I slept. So, I'm pretty tired. I feel pretty beat, but I feel pretty good. I'm glad to say that now the Penumbra series is complete, and I am so glad it didn't end on Requiem. Oh my god. If that was the ending to your series, that would be such a letdown. Penumbra Requiem should not exist in any way, shape, or form. Nothing about it is complete. Nothing. It should not be a game. Maybe it can be in development, but there's no enemies, so you can't have a Penumbra game without enemies. You can't have it without any element of danger. Otherwise you just get frustrations with stupid puzzles and there's no threat of anything. I kind of wish they had the worm in this game, just because it's nice to make an appearance sometimes. I died to it billions of times, and I guess they did have it, you just didn't see it. I kind of wonder what's going to happen though, because surely those people were from the archaic cast, weren't they? And they can't be the only people in that group. So surely people are gonna send stuff back? Or something? I'm not sure. I think maybe it's best not to look too deeply into it. I think it was a really well done mod. The voice acting was pretty good for what it was. I'll put it that way. I think they could have done with a bit of proofreading in their scripts, but either way, I give massive kudos to the people of Countercurrent Games, who were the ones who developed this mod, I believe. And thank you for letting the Penumbra series end on a high, a momentous high, a very tiresome, weary high. And I feel like I can see things that I shouldn't be able to see right now. I'm so tired. So this is probably not going to make much sense. But overall, my verdict on this game, I would give it like an A, not an A+, almost an A-, but still just an A. And I think that's still pretty good. I think it's a really good ending to the Penumbra series. And they actually gave you like a definitive end as well. It wasn't like ambiguous, well, it was kind of ambiguous, but I mean, ambiguous in the way that the other Penumbra games have always ended, where it just kind of brings further questions to light and you don't really get any answers. As a whole, the series Penumbra, if I can talk, I think it's a really good classic horror game. I think, if you could call it classic, I'd call it classic. I think it's a really well done one. It's not flashy, it's not trying to be something that it isn't, it just really enjoys being what it is. And I think it does horror really well. The atmosphere, oh my god. Even when there's nothing there, it's freaking terrifying. And you're always terrified to go around corners. I do think that the one thing that Penumbra games tend to do, even this mod, is sometimes they overuse enemies, or they overcomplicate the situation that you are in with an enemy. Either way, both basically end up with you being overexposed to the enemy. And if you're overexposed to it, you lose the fear of it. If it starts to become tedious and just repetitive, it's not going to be scary. Whereas less you show it, you know, like Jaws. And yeah, feel free to throw them out there, but if you're going to throw them out there, don't throw them out there for as long as you're throwing them out there for. I'm seriously rambling. But yeah, overall, A, for this game, for the series as a whole, I think it is definitely up there as one of like the best horror series, certainly. I mean, people who have played Amnesia but haven't played this, I think they really should, especially if you like snowy landscapes, which I do. I mean, this is kind of the one that started Amnesia, in a way. This was the test for Amnesia, and you can really see that in the atmosphere, and some of the enemies kind of have similar traits, and they do have different qualities. You know, Penumbra is its own series, and Amnesia is its own element as well. But they both succeed in doing horror really well. And it might not look it when you're watching people play it, because the graphics aren't like the most realistic thing, and it doesn't seem that scary when you're watching somebody play it. But when you're playing it, and you have the music and the sounds, and I mean that bit with the thing in the vent, and it was the first time in any Penumbra game where a vent was not safe. That was terrifying to me. So definitely think that the series as a whole is a classic, and I would recommend it to anybody who likes playing horror games. Before I end up rambling for half an hour talking about nothing, and I really should sleep, I would like to thank everybody who joined me for not only Penumbra Necrologue, but also anybody who joined me for this series as a whole. If you went through Requiem, I am so terribly sorry for your troubles. I hope at least you got some enjoyment out of my LP out of it. I certainly didn't, but you know, to each their own, right? I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, morning, evening, or whatever it is, wherever you are. I'll see you all in the future. TTFN and cheerio!